Hello again, Maverick traders, and welcome out to your daily currency recap. This is Ankit here, and let's break down today's market price action. It's a Tuesday, May the 7th. Let's get into it. As always, we'll be breaking down today's market price action by looking at broader markets, then take a look at currency baskets, and then talk about possible setups ahead. Let's get into it.
Disclaimer. This video was created for professional stock and option traders. Maverick Trading is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional trader for Maverick, click the apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
So as we get into the markets, let's just jump right into the headlines here. So it was a quiet day across the board. We're seeing consolidation taking place across the board as well. So again, this is the time to be on the sideline. As we take a look at the numbers, you'll see this is not really big numbers across the board. The best movement today, again, 0.26% on the Kiwi and on the yen on 0.24%. Again, these are not the big numbers. Everything is below 0.5% range. You can see there's some relative weakness in the pound, CAD, Aussie, but really not a whole lot taking place. So this is where we'll take a look at the charts and see what's really happening as far as the technical goes. Now, taking a look at the stock markets and everything else, same thing. SPX was slightly higher, VT was flat, crypto again slightly higher, and gold is slightly lower. So you can see that this is just not the FX thing. This is something happening across the board, and same thing in the crypto market as well. Most of the things were sideways to slightly higher. Litecoin was the best performer, but that's pretty much it. Let's take a look at where we are in the markets. And again, the market outlook is a +2, but realize the chart is not as bullish as it was again before, like a couple of months ago. So we are recovering. This is a recovery after making this low here and a lot of back and forth. Here we are. We still have an overhead resistance in place. So I will call this a bit of a mild bullishness here. Today's candlestick was not an exciting one. We got a bit of a doji here. So again, we'll find out where market goes, but we have a resistance in place. So unless we really break out of the resistance, this could again go into this little bit of a range of our price action back and forth. So this is again not the most exciting time to be active in the markets. Now, if we take a look at the economic events, this week is lighter on the economic events, and lately it seems like the economic events is really what bring out the volatility and the movement in the markets. So as we go into last night, we had the RBA, again, no rate change, and it really wasn't a big movement in the Australian dollar. We had a couple of numbers from Canada, nothing really pressing. As we go into tomorrow, there is not a whole lot either. So really, as we go into Thursday, we have the Bank of England rate statement. And then as we go into Friday, we have Canadian employment report and some GDP out of UK as well. So a light week, and this is where you just have to really let those consolidation phases play out before we can find a meaningful move. So let's just jump into our currency analysis and see what the velocity score is telling us. And here we are with the velocity score. You can see most of the things are right in the middle. We want things to be a +2 and a +3 pairing with a -2 and a -3. That's not what we're seeing here. Kiwi is the only one that stand out the most. Outside of that, a lot of back and forth. And let's take a look at the charts and kind of dive this into it further. So based on that, let's just jump into possible trades ahead and take a look at some technical.
Do you want to be a professional trader? Maverick Currencies is the oldest US-based Forex and crypto prop trading company that will pay you for trading with our capital. Trade our capital and keep 70 to 80% of the profits. We are looking for traders just like you that are hardworking and motivated. Click the apply link on the top right of this video to see if you have what it takes. That link takes you to a 4-minute video that explains the trader position available, and you read a list of FAQs that answer pretty much all the basic questions you have at this point. After watching the video and reading the FAQs, if you're interested, fill out an application, then you'll watch the full-length recruiting video, and then schedule an interview with one of our traders. Are you our next trader?
So let's just jump into the charts here and see what the technicals are telling us. And again, as you take a look at most of the technicals, what are you seeing is consolidation. Swiss franc, which was again moving very nicely for the last month or two, is now going sideways. But these consolidation patterns could be very useful because a breakout off those, this is where the energy is getting built up. If we break below certain levels, that's really where the energy is building up, and that's really where we get the big move. But right now, Swiss franc going sideways. If you take a look at the yen, had a big move last week, but then you can see that things are just kind of fizzling off here. So nothing too pressing. I think as we take a look at the daily chart, this wanted to get above this previous high, but then it hasn't. So it's rejecting that level. So I think at this point, you just got to watch out for, maybe a little further pullback and see if there's any sort of a price change. But as the 4-hour chart goes, nothing too pressing here. USD, you can see we had a big fall last week, and it's just having a little bit of a rally here. The big question really is that, are these rallies to be shorted? I think it's too early to call. This is still hasn't really reached any significant levels where we can make that turn. As we go into the euro, same thing, choppy price action. Pound is showing a little bit more weakness here. Canadian dollar, you can see very nicely making like nice little base here. But again, until we break out of these levels, it's just too early to call a breakout. Australian dollar, you can see, had a bit of a dip yesterday after the RBA, but then it's just holding steady. The only thing that really stands out here is the Kiwi. Look at the price action. The Kiwi is making a nice little basing pattern or a ascending triangle here. As we go on the daily chart, we have some resistance to clear, but I think this is where you got to watch out for, is when we see these reversals. But once we break out, I think these are good opportunities to be had. So as we looked at everything, it's this not really finding anything exciting here. But let's see, based on the relative strength and weakness, does any pattern look the best? Well, this is the first one that comes out to me here, is the pound Kiwi onto the short side. Looks like it wants to go lower. It's just sitting at this little support level here. The next level of support is about 2.040. So as we go on a 4-hour chart, that's really what I'll be basing my chart on. And again, getting a nice little, a little bear rally to short off of. So this is the one that goes on the top of the list for as far as the weakness goes. We can also take a look at Kiwi against the yen. So the only thing that's really in play right now is Kiwi. So let's just focus on those pairs. So Kiwi yen, I think, is making a nice little base here. Breakout of that, I think it can go higher as well. Now, other thing is the Kiwi CAD. CAD is also the one that looks weak to me, and again, looking for a breakout above this resistance. So sitting at about 82, 43, 45. Our stop we can use a tighter stop right here, about 82. So risk to reward looks good, because if it does break out, I'm looking at about 83.60. So it's just a matter of getting into those trades when they're moving above those levels. So this is where, timing this could be a little difficult, but then we can put our buy stops in place. And if they don't break out, that's what we want to get into. So those are the setups that I really like here. If you take a look at Aussie against the Kiwi, you notice that it's kind of going sideways here. So Kiwi again looks the best, followed by the Aussie. And as far as the weakness goes, we have the pound that's looking a little weak here, along with the yen and the CAD. And that's the game plan here. Again, markets in consolidation phase. We don't know how long the consolidation is going to last for, but this is where you're waiting for the tide to kind of ride that wave. We are just letting that build up. So looking to stay on the sideline till we get some breakouts. Meanwhile, stay in cash and look to strike when you see a movement in the markets. Thanks everyone for joining. See you in the next one.